Turning to the battle over Brexit, you are looking at a live picture of the House of Commons. British Prime Minister Theresa May surviving a vote of no confidence earlier after Parliament shot down her Brexit plan. And as we reported earlier this hour, they're continuing the conversations there. As we reported earlier, British Prime Minister Theresa May has survived a no-confidence vote, but the utter mess over Brexit and its potential global ramifications is far from over. Joining us now is the director of the Margaret Thatcher Centre for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation, as well as a former aide to Margaret Thatcher herself, Nile Gardiner. Hey, Nile.
Hi there, how are you?
So tell us what your reaction is here. I mean, she was widely expected to kind of be given the green light, but what is the potential nightmare scenario out of this?
Well, certainly, I think that it's a good day for the Prime Minister today in that she survived the vote of no confidence. She had a catastrophically bad day yesterday when she overwhelmingly was defeated over her EU withdrawal deal. And so it's been sort of mixed fortunes for the Prime Minister this week. The big question now is how she moves forward with regard to the Brexit negotiations, the Brexit deal. In my view, I think the best way forward for the Prime Minister is to seek or announce and declare that Britain is going to pursue a no-deal arrangement and ensure that Britain leaves the European Union as Parliament has promised on March 29th, 2019. And under a no-deal scenario, this would guarantee that Britain is fully outside of the customs union and the single market, ensuring British sovereignty and self-determination. And this is what 17.4 million Britons voted for back in June 2016. But I expect, however, that the Prime Minister is going to seek a further renegotiation with the European Union. I expect she's going to announce something like that on Monday before the House of Commons. But the reality is that the European Commission is not going to be in the mood to make any kind of meaningful concession to the British Prime Minister. I don't think she's going to be able to get a good deal from the EU. I do think the best course now is to simply declare that Britain is going to pursue a no-deal option for March 29th.
So you mentioned that pivotal March 29th date, but I have been reading and hearing from folks who are saying, hey, that is actually a flexible date and could end up being pushed back, kind of like a lot of the deadlines here in the U.S. that we impose. Is that up for grabs? Is it going to be pushed further down the road? What do you think there?
Yeah, so March 29th is actually set in stone through parliamentary legislation. Now, the only way that this could be amended is if there's an extension to Article 50, which is the legal mechanism for setting the date of Britain's departure. Now, EU officials have said today that they would be willing to consider a possible extension of Article 50. This will be very strongly resisted by Brexit supporting MPs within the Conservative Party. In my view, this would be a very bad move for Britain to make because, after all, I think any kind of extension to Article 50 would mean potentially that Britain would never actually leave the European Union. And so there's a very real danger, I think, of Brexit being overturned if the British government agrees to this course of action. This would also require a parliamentary vote to do so. But I think this would be a high-risk course for the British government to take. The best course for Theresa May to take would be to declare that Britain is going to stick to the March 29th deadline, as she's stated on many occasions previously. So I think that would be a very risky course for the government to take. And if the government had been defeated today in the House of Commons, that would have certainly sparked another general election with the possibility of a Labour government takeover. But as it is right now, the Conservative Party remains in power. The Conservative Party has been committed until now to seeing through the March 29th date, which is already set in parliamentary legislation.
Right. Niall, tell me more about the market action or reaction to a lot of what's happening here. It seems like it's kind of priced into the market activity. European markets did close higher, although the FTSE is down after the market close. Do you anticipate that there will be a lot more movement here, or it's 2.5 years of these Brexit talks, nothing further will really change it?
Yeah, I think, the markets have already sort of priced in various different Brexit scenarios, including potentially a no-deal scenario. And clearly, the U.S. markets are not, disturbed by the developments in London right now. And I think that a lot of US companies are preparing for the real possibility of a no deal. What a no deal simply means is that Britain exits the European Union without an agreement between London and Brussels. It would mean that Britain would revert to World Trade Organization rules, which means that Britain can negotiate and sign free trade agreements with countries across the world, including with the United States. That would actually be a very good development for the United States. I would think that, US businesses would actually welcome a situation whereby Britain could negotiate and implement a free trade deal with the United States, and certainly the US administration has very strongly backed a US-UK free trade deal. So I think there are a lot of positives actually for the United States if indeed Britain does leave with a no-deal scenario.
Thank you so much, Nile Gardiner of the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation.